back at it. Another episode, the Man to Man Pod. I'm Antoine, Bethea. Got my co-host D But.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, let's jump right into it, man. Thursday night football, man. You know,
Thursday night football.
We used to call it when two teams like this play, man. You used to call it the toilet bowl. But
you couldn't even do that with these two teams. They was they both right. They still in it.
They still in the hunt, right? They still in the hunt, man. What you think of the game, man? Obviously, you had the Eagles winning. I had the Giants.
Yep.
What was your take?
I mean, it went
from the game.
It went kind of like, I had the Eagles winning, had the Giants covering though, but I didn't expect Carson to throw for that many damn yards, but he threw it around for like 350 plus. He made huge plays down the stretch. So people been tough on him. I've been tough on him all year. A lot of people around the banged up. He did it. He did his thing though. He did his thing. He willed his team to a victory. Daniel Jones, he put a ball on. I know he was traveling, but he put a ball on Ingram, like right on his head. Which could have been the game. Yeah, that could have been the game right there. He dropped it, and obviously other things always go in the games, but it's usually 4 or 5 plays that really be a difference, and that was definitely one of them. And then he got the ball back, had another chance, and he fumbled. Eagles went down to score, so I feel like Eagles are slightly the better team, and they barely won. So what about you?
Like I said, I was traveling, but I was able to catch, probably like the last 10 minutes of the fourth quarter. And, obviously keeping track of the game while I'm on the road. Mm-hmm. Like you said, the glaring, play was obviously like Evan dropping that on the third down. When I'm watching the game, the Giants, they running the ball. They running the ball, killing the clock.
Mm-hmm.
If you were able to convert that third down, I think the game it's a wrap.
That was it.
That was it. But again, I want to talk to you. I want to ask you, just as far as like being a young team. A lot of times, when you have young teams, I know coaches and even vet players just talk about knowing how to win. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to those crucial situations, just everybody knowing how to win, believing that, you can win. Like, do you think that's kind of a situation here? Do you think it's just that, okay, maybe they just don't have the players on the roster to make it happen? What you think?
I mean, they still definitely have a ways to go to, put together a real roster. But, I mean, that roster is competitive in the division that they're in.
Right.
So, that's the first thing you look at as a player, especially a veteran. Like, how do we match up with our division? How do we look as far as winning the division? Because that's obviously the easiest way in the playoffs, year in and year out. So they definitely have the roster to compete in that division. Still far away as far as the rest of the league, but I mean, you got to learn how to win, like you said, and you got a quarterback who I think Daniel Jones' biggest issue by far is taking care of the ball.
Taking care of the ball, yeah.
He has, I think, 23 lost fumbles or 23 fumbles through his first 19 games, which is like the most ever, something like that. So, got to take care of the ball. That's the most important as an offensive player, and especially as a quarterback. So, I think that's their biggest issue right now on offense. He's playing well. He can beat you with his legs. He can beat you with his arm. Makes some big time throws. But as a team, got to learn how to win. Even something simple. You were traveling this early in the game. I actually missed this part too, but I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah.
The gunner completely uncovered. The gunner on on punt, and the punter is kind of trying to get his attention, because literally nobody was anywhere near him. So the punter was gonna catch the ball and just throw it out there to him.
Yeah.
But the dude literally never looked.
Locked
the whole time, locked in, just running down the field. So it's like just little things like that. Just like you said, just learning how to win. And I can't say that they're close, but the arrow's still pointing up. Still a very young team, talented team. So I think they'll be all right as long as they start taking care of that ball.
Yeah. So who you got out the NFC East? Who you got making the offs out of the NFC East?
The NFC least, man. right now it's crazy. I think the Eagles are in sole first place possession. I picked the Cowboys, man, but actually seeing Dalton's first full start, I'm very, very discouraged, especially with that offensive line in front of him, because you can have all the weapons you want. I'm gonna go with the Eagles, man. I'm gonna switch over to the Eagles. I'm gonna switch over to the Eagles, man. They secondary is playing better. Carson, if he can keep playing like that, if he gets the weapons back, Wentz, Goddard, D-Jack just got hurt again. Hopefully, it's not as serious as it looked.
Right.
Yeah.
I seen that.
But it looked bad. It was kind of awkward when he got hit late. I don't know what the hell 45 was doing. But yeah, I'm probably going to the Eagles, man. Who you got?
Give me another week, man. I want to see what. Give me another week. I want to see what. Like you said, man. I want to see what Andy Dalton's going to do this week. They got the Redskins. So, like you said, but watching that first week with his full-time start didn't look so good. Then, like you said, the O-line is banged up over there. So give me one more week. I'll get back with you.
1 more week. All right.
1 more week. Overreaction Monday. We'll wrap.
But shoot, staying in that division though. A lot of news circulating around the Cowboys, that locker room stuff coming out. Players saying coaches not game planning, preparing well, not adjusting well.
Yeah,
I kind of already know how you probably feel about that, but how you feel about that whole situation?
I don't like it, man. The anonymous, like I always hated that, where it's an anonymous player said this, anonymous player said that. Like if you got the balls enough to say whatever you had to say, man, stand on that.
Yeah,
stand on that so it could be addressed. You know what I mean? And then and now you at a point where you in the locker room and you looking to your left and looking to your right. It's like, okay, who can I not trust? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like now, okay, I got to be careful what I say around when I'm in the locker room, just because you know what I mean. You're gonna have that anonymous person talking to the media, man, and I don't like that. Even if it is a situation with the coaches not being able to have good in-game adjustments, whatever the case may be. Whoever that leader is on that team, you go to that leader and be like, look, man, coach is struggling over here. And I've had that a number of times where, players come to me and be like, yo, AB, man, like we having this problem in our room, or we having this problem in our room. We know if you go talk to coach, he'll respect your word and he'll try to work something out. So I think that's the way that's the way you go about it. And just the way, the way it's going right now in that locker room, obviously they're not playing well. Dak being injured, a lot of players being injured and them not playing well, man. This could be a snowball effect if they don't get in front of it.
If they allow it to. And like you said, I think it goes back to those leaders. And now as a leader, you still can't control everybody. You can still reach out to your favorite reporter and say what you're gonna say. But you don't see this happening in winning good locker rooms. Obviously, once people start losing, things start to go left. People start pointing fingers, and now you got basically a mole in the building going outside, because when you're in that building, leaders, coaches, whoever, they stress. A lot of them stress. What you see here and whatever here stays here. And we know how it goes as far as like the front office, and sometimes when they'll leak information, especially when it's beneficial to them, we know how that part of it go. But when it comes to the locker room, like the coaches, like it's still some kind of like a sanctuary almost when we in our locker room, we in our meeting rooms, like we're on our practice fields as far as players and coaches. So especially older players, we take that, that's real. So when you hear players speak out about it, a lot of them are passionate, a lot of them are upset, because that's just not the way to do it. Whether it's true or not, they could be the worst game planning, worst adjusting coaches of all time. But like you said, we the players that's out there that got to go out there and execute. It's not college, it's not high school. Like we all pros. So Antoine got to go up there. Darius got to go up there. Somebody, DQ got to go up. Somebody got to go up there, Rob, and say, hey, coach, I know it might look and sound good in that meeting room when y'all going over it, but when y'all bring it back to us, something ain't working. It's a disconnect somewhere, so we got to do something differently. We got to adjust better in the game, like, and you figure out a way.
Yep. Yep.
That's how you gotta handle that.
And I was always big on, and I'm pretty sure 99% of the meetings went this way. When you first OTAs, you have those meetings or whatever, and coaches sit up in the front of the room and they talk about accountability.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure it was in everybody's room, an offensive lineman, defensive lineman, quarterbacks, or whatever. So we talked about it before, where you got to hold everybody accountable. And coaches always say, we in this together. Coaches, players, everybody. So again, just to piggyback on what you said, shoot, like if a coach if I didn't, not gonna say believe, but if I didn't think that something was going to work, or if I needed more clarification, I was going to hold that coach accountable. Hey, explain this to me, explain this to the room. Because we went out there on Wednesday, it didn't really look good. You know what I'm saying? So Thursday, hey coach, hey, let's talk about this a little bit. Maybe the guy's not feeling real good about this. You know what I'm saying? And then the coach even walk through, and did a coach
might need an extra walkthrough to figure this out.
Exactly, and like you said, like that's that communication. That's even coach might say, "All right, AB, I respect that. Hey, let's give it one more day." You know what I'm saying? Let's give it one more day. Let's see if we can make some adjustments. If it doesn't work, look, we're gonna get it out of there. But that's being able to have that open communication, hold your coaches accountable, just like they're gonna hold you accountable.
Yep.
And you know what I mean? Saying you move forward, and hopefully they can, get the situation rectified, and they can try to move on, and winning cures everything. So you know what I mean, they can if they can go out there and get this dub against Washington, man, maybe we can see a change.
Yeah, for real. Now I just want to tell the listeners, the fans who are not as familiar with how the NFL and kind of football, I guess, general works, like when it comes to game planning and putting in a game plan and all these different things, like you have the off season, like that's when you really install your playbooks, your adjustments, your this, your that. And then, throughout the year, you tweak and adjust those game plans, those calls based on your games per week.
Right.
Because we're going to call a lot of the same calls, but you're just going to finesse and finagle some things depending on your matchup. And in our meetings, like we come in and Wednesday, a game week, we come in on Wednesday and we meet as a whole team in the morning, and then we usually separate. You got offensive, defensive meetings, which we call unit meetings, like complete unit meeting. Like it's a defensive unit, offensive unit, special teams unit. Then you break it down into position groups. We may have linebackers, DBs, front line. And then, certain things we go over coverages. Sometimes the DBs and the linebackers in there together. Sometimes it's something where we're all in there together. Sometimes it's just DBs, so it's really broken up. And so the time that you're all together, that's the most valuable time. Like that's whether it's in a meeting room or walkthrough, whatever, that's when we're hearing the linebackers make their calls, the up front, they're making sure that, the linebackers or the safety, whoever, are giving the close call, and all these different things matter on every play call that you make. So the more continuity that you have in that, the more trust you have in each other when it comes to that, the better you're going to play, period. And especially in the coaches as well, because the coaches are in those meetings as well. So they know who's calling out what, and here on the walkthroughs, who's making the proper adjustment. So it's also on the coaches to hold players accountable to the point where they make sure they know what they're doing if they're in that field. And the same thing with the players. Like if I'm on the field with Twan, or Twan on the field with me, and he know, hey, like, D-Bud, he ain't really on his shit right now. He don't know. He not making a right adjustment. I'm making my calls, and I got to make his calls. Like,
right.
You got to come to me. Hey, bro, like you got to get your playbook. You got to do that. Like that's the conversation we got to have. That ain't got nothing to do with the coaches. I know I'm out there with you, and I can do my best job if you on the same page as I am, and vice versa. So those are the conversations that need to be had, and it kind of transitions right to my next question for you. As far as the actual defense, like as far as scheme and the players and what do you see? What's the fix there? Is there a fix? Can it be fixed? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I feel as though it can be fixed. But it goes down to starting off on Monday. Like, so everything DB. Shout out to everything DB, man.
Shout out.
DB, he breaks it down the way the game is supposed to be broken down as far as film wise. And it's just a couple things that you've even mentioned where gap integrity. You know what I'm saying? So what easy. So if it's one back in the game, it's one back, one gap. Everybody on that defense has their gap. Now you have to have integrity in that gap. So if you have the A gap is in between the guard and the center. The B gap is between the guards and the tackle. So if D-Butt has an A gap, D-Butt, I'm trusting you to stay in that A gap. I don't need you to spin out of that A gap. Now you're making it a tough read for the linebackers. I just need you to win your gap. And D-Butt he's dependent on me to do the same thing in my B gap. He's dependent on AB to win his B gap. And a lot of times when the defense isn't playing well as a player, I think it's human nature. You try to overcompensate and make plays. And when you try to overcompensate and make plays, that's when it starts to crumble.
That's when I'll break down.
Yep. And then also another thing that you've kind of put out there is the communication part. The communication part is very, very important where pre-snap communication. Hey, D-Butt, if this guy motion, I'm running with motion. So now you're letting everybody know in the defense that, okay, well, if this guy moves, D-Butt's going to move. So now the safety, we have to spin the rotation. Spin the rotation means, one safety goes to the post and then the other safety comes down. That helps the defense. That helps the defense. So now we're not guessing. We're not assuming what this player is going to do. And I just think a lot of times on that defense, I don't know if they have that person right now.
Yeah, they look. It's a lot of people unsure.
I don't know if they have that vocal leader out there that's going to take the lead. And then after that, it's about making plays. It's about making plays, and that's where we was kind of talking about. You throw the coaches out of there. You throw the coach, and I always had a coaches tell me that you got to overplay the coaching. Sometimes you're gonna get some. You're gonna have some. I'm not gonna say bad coaching, but they might tell you a bad technique. They might tell you something that not going to help you be successful doing that down. But as a player that's in the National Football League, make plays.
Yeah, you're a pro.
You know what I'm saying?
You're a pro, man. And they the coaches doing their best. The best that they can do to get you prepared. But as a professional player who's probably making more money than your coaches, if you've been real, which you should, because you're doing a harder job. And since you're actually doing that job, you need input. You know what I mean? Because these coaches for the most part, coaches not coming into a room and just saying, hey, this is how we're going to do it. This is, it's no, I don't care what you have, no input. This is how you got to do it. This is how I've always coached it. This is how you got to do it. Some coaches are more to that, but you got to come in there and be like, hey, I know you coach it this way, you want it done this way, but let's try it this way. This may work better for either me or us. And then we go out there and figure out, because you're the one out there on that field. And like you said, that starts on Monday. Even like the communication when it comes down to motions, shifts, and because defenses are moving, like they can go from one coverage to another. So the faster I can tell you, hey, nickel right, alert nickel left, if we're going to nickel left, I'm coming over, we're going quarters. So now everybody already knows, as soon as I go in that motion, they know, okay, the nickel's going left, we're going quarters to this side. So that just eliminates a lot of the thinking, not only for myself, because when I'm saying it, a lot of the times I used to communicate in the field talking to myself, kind of out loud, and then somebody else hear it and relay it to everybody else. And like we always say, a silent defense is a dead defense, and more communication, just more trust in each other. And I believe they still have the talent. I think they don't have, they still have the talent to get it done. It just comes to other things, man.
Hey, it's another thing going on. If them boys playing 70 plays or more, they not giving it 100%. They not giving it 100%. You know what I'm saying? But hey, let's talk about that. Let's keep it a buck. Yeah. I think we both. I think we both understood where he was coming from.
1,000%.
70 plays. Average play is what?
About
3 seconds, 3, 4 seconds. Boom. So, average fan, like, yo, 3-4 seconds, 70 plays, you getting paid X amount of money, you should be able to go 100 miles an hour every
Yeah,
play. You know what I'm saying? I understand what he was trying to say. I think it came out the wrong way. Whereas, never get it twisted. As a teammate, I need you to go hard. I need you to go hard.
I need your
I need
effort.
your effort. Yeah, I need your effort.
I need
I need your
100%
effort.
effort. But
Now,
yeah,
as a vet, you definitely you're gonna find your plays where, okay, I could possibly get my breath from this play. Whereas you might be the left corner and they might throw a hitch to the other side, So when they throw that ball, you're gonna give you a good
you're gonna give a
3
burst,
yards
like you're going, yeah. So you're going for that
towards that
touchdown,
ball.
like
yeah. So you never know what can happen. But hey, you get that, the corner make that play, make that tackle. All right, boom. All right, now I'm good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to run all the way back or whatever the case may be. So I definitely get what he was saying. I just think the timing was wrong.
And the place.
Yeah,
I think the place was wrong, man, because that's just a conversation that you can't have with media members. Like they don't play football, they don't understand. So it's like it's like, what? You can't run for 100%. What you mean? And I understood effort wise, but running literally full speed every play, as from snap to whistle, that's not realistic for a DB, because as DBs, we're on the field. If you're the starting safety, you're on the field for most likely 68, 69 of 70 plays, outside of maybe some goal lines, but a lot of safeties, you 70 of 70. So it is, you're not like a D lineman who's rotating. Some linebackers rotate in different packages. Sometimes a nickel back, may come in and out. Receivers always rotate pretty much. Running back. Only people who really stay in there is really like secondary guys and O-line.
Yep.
And obviously quarterbacks. So, and O-line and quarterbacks, they're not running 4-3-4-4 around up and down the field all game. So definitely understood what he was saying as a player, as a DB especially. But you just can't have that conversation at that time or place.
Yeah, media was ready to eat that up. Whoa.
Oh yeah, especially after you struggling.
Yeah. Nah, but man, it was tough. So shoot, NFC East, man, it's a lot going on. So So let's stay in that division, right? Talking about the Washington football team. So Coach Rivera, right? So it came out where his coaching mentality, where he from I go on my gut, like regardless of whatever else is going on, I'm going on my gut. That's the way I was. I guess he kind of talked about a time he was with Coach John Madden or whatever when he first started coaching, and Coach John Madden was like, "Yo, go with your gut." What you think about a coach going with his gut? So, and then he was kind of talking about as far as with the quarterback situation, where he was like, it's not over for Dwayne Haskins. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like Allen is in right now, but if Allen, doesn't produce, shoot, we could go back to Haskins. Like, how you feel about that as a player? And I feel as though you could be a coach too. Like, would that be your kind of coaching style, or what you think?
A lot of it, being that he's a former player,
right?
He done been in the trenches on both sides. From he's been coaching for a while now, but obviously a player as well. I mean, I don't mind coaches that go with their gut. You know what I mean? Especially if they're not second guessing themselves. And it's just like anything else. If you build that credibility over time, because if you just go with your gut every week and you make your boneheaded decisions every other week as a player, because as a player, once you're in the league for a certain amount of time, you sitting in all these meetings, you sitting in all these things, like these game situations, time management, even how to bench or move or draft or how you operate on that level. So as you get older, you got to still keep that respect and that locked inness of the whole locker room, organization, that belief in you as the head coach, as the leader. But I played for Belichick, and he was kind of one of those. he would tether that line. Like he went with his gut some at times, but a lot of times he went with them numbers too. He went with I guess analytics. It was even before it was called analytics, but he went with his analytics. So I think you just gotta find that happy medium, and also gotta have the pulse of your football team, which is the most important part of it. Because you know, having a veteran-led coach team that you were on for a long time compared to the coach team you were on with a rookie head coach and Andrew Luck, like those are two completely different pulses of a team in the locker room and situations. So that's why they get paid the big bucks to manage all that and then to go out there and make the right decisions every Sunday. So, you know, Rivera has been good so far in this league as a head coach. But I don't think at this point in his career, he's, you know, set himself up here where he's like, okay, Rivera is there. I still think we're, you know, it's still out. He's a great leader, I feel. But as far as coaching wins and losses, you know, we got to figure it out. That gut shit can work, but it can get you up out of there too.
Out of there quick, right. Yeah.
So should we go see? How you feel about it?
I mean,
how were your coaches as far as when it came to that? Like Dungy, Caldwell.
Man, they was Dungy, Caldwell was great. Chuck was great. That's kind of the reason, like, you know, from what I've seen when we kind of talked about the Phillip Rivers situation, where, you know, he had the bad game and you was like, man, you know, get him up out of there. And I was just like, yo, had that conversation with him, let him know what's on the horizon. Like, look, we need you to play better. If I was coaching, bro, just because as a player, I want 100% transparency. That's what I would give my players. 100% transparency. Like, and I think that's what Coach Dungy did.
100%?
As much as I can. As much as I can in my position. Like you said, a lot of times, even with the Chargers, sometimes things gonna be above me. You know what I mean? Yep. Things gonna be above me. So as a head coach, look, my door's open. You come talk to me about anything. If you're unhappy, if you feel as though we need changes, obviously, depending who's walking in that door, I'm gonna feel a certain type of way just about, you know, if a guy track record is great, you know what I mean, never late to meetings, a great leader, always on time, you know what I mean, you know, those conversations are different rather than a guy that's coming into my office, he's always late.
Always got some shit.
Always got some shit with him or whatever. So for me as a coach, I'm gonna try to keep it 100 with you as possible. You know what I mean? Whereas if it's about your play time, it's about your play. If it's about off the field issues, anything, you know what I'm saying? So as far as the gut, shit, I don't know. The word, the saying, oh, I'm gonna just go with my gut. Bro, I don't know. I need to go off of what I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I
need to go off what I'm seeing, like, cause my gut gonna be like, man, like, I don't like the way D Butt was walking around this week. But shit, D Butt, I don't know if he ready to play. So my gut gonna be like, man, tell D Butt
he could be dead ass wrong. I could be just having a bad day that day.
Bad day, exactly. But if your play is like, oh, D Butt is all right, then you know what I'm saying? So I don't know about saying like I'm gonna go with my gut, because your gut can get you fucked up sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like you said, like he played in the league, I think like 9 years. He's been and he's been coaching for a minute. So you know, to each his own. But my coach, I don't think I could go off my gut. I need to go off how the game is going, how players are playing. So
we'll see. We'll see how that works. But he obviously got a long way to go with that roster. Got to first and foremost get a quarterback that he can depend on every week. And shit, all right. Better go with your gut on that.
Right.
What
let's go. Let's talk about some of these games this weekend.
Let's get out of this NFC lease. Let's start previewing this weekend, man.
Yeah,
We got some big matchups,
some tough matchups,
some good ones. So Steelers, Titans, both undefeated. I think this game gonna have a little extra bad blood to it too, because I know the Steelers was hot by losing that bye week. What's your outlook on that? What's your preview on that one?
Man, obviously Tennessee got to stop the run, and I think that would be my formula going into the game is like stopping the run. Obviously that run game goes, the offense goes. If you can stop that run, make that Tennessee team one-dimensional. I think you got a great chance of coming out victorious. Pittsburgh defense is good. They lost one of their linebackers, but Devin Bush. But I think it's going to be a good matchup, man. If I had to call it right now, I think I would go with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's like you said, both undefeated, both playing well. For some reason, it's just hard for us. I feel like to buy into to just be all in the Texas. I mean, the Titans.
Right.
You see it from last year. Like all they've done is ball. Even Ryan Tannehill
playing well.
Tannehill and Texas have been playing like lights out, on par with all of the very, very good teams in the AFC. But for just some reason, it's hard for us to look at the Titans and be like, yeah, I'm gonna pick that team. So this week, I don't know. I see by Sunday. It's gonna be a good one though, man.
It's gonna be another good one for you. Carolina and New Orleans.
Teddy B. They was on a 3-game winning streak. Caught an L last week.
Yeah. Divisional game.
Divisional rivalry. So that's gonna be another good one, like you said. The Saints. Man, they need Mike T back.
Is he back this week?
I think he's gonna be up. He had some up and down. He had the issue obviously where he was suspended, and then I feel like it's kind of gray area with that injury if he's good or not. They definitely need him back out there.
Yeah.
And, if they got him back out there, I'll take the Saints in that one. But I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah, for sure.
But it should be some more good football, man. Good football this weekend.
Seattle at Arizona. They moved that to Sunday night.
Yeah, that's gonna be prime time.
Kyler
got to play better though, man.
Yeah,
he got to play better.
You got Russ over there, DK.
Because they gonna put up points.
Is Jamal Adams back?
Nah, he not back yet.
They defense got to play better too, though.
Their defense definitely got to play better, but they kind of built right now to outscore people. And that's what they've been doing. And now they talking about getting AB.
Woo.
If that goes through, that'd be crazy. Not only for that division, but for the NFC. But that's gonna be a good game, man. I'm mad. The Cardinals lost Chandler, man. But lost him for the year. But that'll be a good one. I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna watch that one. Like I said, I think Kyler needs to play better. He made some big plays, obviously, last week against the Cowboys, but he wasn't in the game. Was kind of out of reach. He wasn't really in a position to have to. I just want to see him be more consistent.
Yeah,
make throws more consistent. Obviously, the highlight plays, the dynamic plays, going to be there. But I just need him to be. You see that with Russell Wilson too. You see the highlight Superman type plays, but you also see him making a routine plays over and over and over again. That's the difference between like those elite type quarterbacks and the other guys. The other guys, they'll make plays here and there a couple times a quarter, but the big time guys make all the right plays. Not all the right plays, but most of the right plays. They know to throw the ball away. They know when to dump the check down. They know when to take a shot. Like they take care of the ball. So and Kyler's still young. He just got to continue figuring that out. But I'm definitely looking forward to that one. I think the Chiefs. Chiefs. I think they might blow that shit out. I was about to say that Chiefs Broncos game. They don't have some good ones.
I don't know. You already know how it is with the divisional games, bro. Like you can really throw the records. Most of the time, you can throw the records out the window.
Now we kind of getting into like this when people start to separate themselves as far as all right, who's gonna be competing. All right, who's gonna be, going and talking to reporters and shit and fracturing the locker room?
Right.
And just start going south off the cliff. Who's starting to make their plans for next year in the rebuild. Like you
Mm-hmm.
start to see this shit within probably from this week to probably like week 10, 11. Like that's when, by week 12, that last quarter of the season, you know, kind of who's the contenders, who's the pretender. So this is kind of like that beginning stretch where teams really start to separate themselves. So you're going to start to see some teams that may have bad records start to play better. You'll start to see teams who got some good records start to play worse, start to kind of fall off. And even so to talk about that a little bit, Baker Mayfield made some comments. And we've talked about this on this show. You know, I'm kind of like, hey, you are what your record is. You kind of like, I see the record, but I also see them.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield was like, hey, this 4-2 never felt so much like 0-6.
Bro.
And
personally,
my thoughts on that comment, bro, like I don't want to hear that from my quarterback.
Like he been saying he done made some comments this year that make you kind of like,
you know what I mean? Like we know what it is. We know you got to play better as our quarterback, and we know we got to play better. You know, whatever positions and position groups that we're in. But 4-2 is 4-2 in the NFL. Like
you know, right.
In our division, we in it. We obviously in a very good division. So that just shows outwardly, like, even though we're winning games, like I don't really have confidence in myself in this locker room, you know what I mean? And my coaches, like feeling like, I mean, I understand, hey, we 4-2, we got to find a way to get better, but I would much rather be in that position than to be 2-4.
2-4,
saying we 5 plays away from being 4-2.
Nah,
we all in there. So how you feel about that right there?
I mean, you kind of hit it on the head, like, you know, like you said, you know, you say like, you know, you are what your record says, and I do agree with that. But I just feel as though in some instances, it's like with them, it's like, okay, they 4-2, but when you look at film, it's like it doesn't look great. But I would definitely be
funny in the light,
right. But I would, like you said, I would definitely rather be 4-2 than be 2-4. You know what I'm saying? I would definitely feels way better going in watching film as a 4-2 team than, you know what I'm saying, coming in watching film at 2-4. But again, you hit it on the head, bro. Like it's just a lack of confidence. He's not playing very well. And again, I think he's lacking confidence in himself. I think it's getting to a point where the team is kind of seeing it as well. You know, obviously they benched him last game, put Case Keenum in there. So again, it's one of them comments
you think we got a quarterback controversy out there in Cleveland?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I do, man. Like inconsistent, and then at this point in time where you at, bro, I need you playing better. If you're gonna be our guy with the weapons they have on that offense.
He got no excuses.
Run game, receivers, no excuses. We need you to play better. And I kind of mentioned this before, where I think it was the first game of the season. He made a comment where he was like, when he was out there, it was looking funny to him.
Yeah.
Yo, bro.
What did he say?
Yeah, I'm something to that extent, but it was like, I'm like, bro, like, yo, nah.
You the franchise quarterback. Like,
so then the next week they played Cincinnati, and this what kind of solidified it for me. They was rolling them out, a lot of boots. So for me, cutting that field in half, so he doesn't have to read the entire defense. So that kind of stamped it and solidified it for me. And then, you know, where, you know, last game, I don't think it was last game, but 2 games that the pick 6 Minka had, that was
last game.
Last game, I was like,
he
threw 2 picks.
That shit right at Minka though. Like,
so
front side right, that was tough.
You know, I mean, we play a sport where everybody's gonna criticize and critique. I'm pretty sure he's made it this far. I'm pretty sure he's looking in the mirror and telling himself, look, I got to play better. He's watching film. So it's not something that we got to harp on, but just looking at it, and playing the game. And, you know, I've been fortunate enough to play, and you have too, played with some great quarterbacks. We kind of know what it looks like. We know what it looks like when, you know, we have that good quarterback play. When we come out in this field, I don't care what the score is in the fourth quarter, we have confidence that, you know, the guy that's leading the charge, we're going to be able to, you know what I mean, make a run at it. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what the situation is. And just the remarks that you say he made, man, it just sounds like a lack of confidence right now. Not saying that he can't gain that confidence,
For sure.
but it just sounds like a little.
Yeah, because I mean, as whatever you do, man, we do what we do, obviously at the highest level. But every day, like, you got to go out there and prove yourself again to yourself, to your teammates, to your coaches. And once that confidence is everything when it comes to that, and you can't really fake that. You got to put that work in to really have that confidence. I think for Baker, honestly, because we see he has talent. He won the Heisman, right? I think he was a Heisman winner. First overall pick after being a guy who kind of had to get it out of the mud. So you know he has a work ethic. You know he has a competitiveness. You know he has the talent.
Yep.
So all those things tell me you just got to mentally, you got to figure it out. And quarterback is going to be the toughest position to do that. So you have to outsource something, some way, somehow. You got to figure it out. So I'm a big believer in, like, you know, finding help, just like with your body. Shoot, my body breaking. I'm getting soft tissue injuries every year, like 2-3 games I'm missing. Like I gotta outsource and find something outside of my athletic trainers that are in this building.
Yeah,
I gotta go get somebody outside, a chiropractor, MAT, whatever it is. I gotta figure something else out. So if he got to get a quarterback guru or a quarterback coach or a consultant or something to be like, hey, 2-3 times a week. Yeah, we got to just sit down for 2 hours, and maybe I just got to hear it from somewhere else. Maybe I just got to compartmentalize it somewhere different. Like say like a guy like Dan Orlowski or somebody who may not have been the greatest player, right? When it comes to talking ball and doing that type thing, you can see obviously you can do that. So hey, reach out to somebody, somebody in that space. Yeah, hey, let's start to go over things like that. I think players in general should start doing that more. Jalen Smith, I think with the Cowboys will be another candidate for that. Yeah, like hey, reach out to certain guys and be like, let's just, especially if it's a guy who's played in that Mike Nolan system, somebody who's got some Stefanski system in them, like, hey, because, player to player, that's a different conversation.
Totally different conversation.
You know what I mean? Yeah. That's a completely different conversation. So that would be my advice to Baker, to Jake, to whoever, even if I'm a coach, and I say, hey, I got a guy for you. Let me connect you with this guy, and hopefully he can help you. And that's what I've been doing, aside from, the other stuff is just consulting with guys, talking ball with them, talking things off the field. And that's what we be needing,
Yeah. And that's real because there's been plenty of times where a coach, you could sit in a meeting with a coach and the coach could be a good coach, a great coach. Yep. He could be a good guy, but when you hear it, it just doesn't click for you coming out of his mouth. Not saying that, not saying that you're not listening, you're not paying attention, or he's not, giving you that information. But sometimes you might have to hear it from somebody else.
Or just hear it a different way.
A different way, exactly. So, like, it's not a knock on anybody, but like you said, you're a professional now, so you got to find out. You got to reach out to different people or whatever to make it work. And you 100% right on that, dude. But
got to, man. I think that's just an avenue we gotta start. And it's an investment. It's an investment in yourself. It's an investment in the team. And you don't have to overdo it. It's, hey, extra 30 minutes, extra hour, extra 2 hours in your week, but it can make all the difference in the world. Because we get so much caught in our routines where it's like, all right, practice, game planning, like, you getting kind of that monotonous routine. You just go out there, you say, all right, I'm getting it done. I'm the starter, but it's levels, bro. Like, you should always be like, we watch The Last Dance, we watch Kobe, we watch LeBron, we watch, Brady, Manning over the years. Like, these guys continuously found ways to get better. Russell Wilson, like every time they showed back up that new season, they had something else in their bag. Same thing with coaches, a guy like Andy Reid, Bill Belichick. These guys been around forever, but they've been able to evolve and not only keep up with the game, but still kind of stay a step ahead. So, you know what I mean? I guess that's what it is. It's a game that's always moving. We always copying each other. We always figuring out and pulling different things here and there. So Do that, man. Unturn every rock. You the franchise. You the face of the franchise, and this is a year for him that it can kind of go either way.
Either way, yeah. But I think like you said, I think the organization knows that as well. That's why when you asked me about the quarterback, I'm not gonna say controversial, but the quarterback play, I think it's up in the air. I think it's up in the air. So we'll see, man. Good luck to you, Baker. Hey, you know what I mean? I ain't wishing nobody downfall. Shoot, go out there and do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Go out there and do your thing. Sure.
Especially a guy like that who been counted out. I like those type of stories.
For sure. So what else we got?
We got anything good? Anything else good on this schedule? Niners Patriots probably that'd be a good game. Yeah. Shanahan versus Belichick.
Mm-hmm.
Niners Patriots.
Niners and Patriots. Some good games, man. Some good games. We're gonna see.
I gotta see Cam. Cam gotta bounce back, man. Let's go, Cam. Gotta bounce back. Some plays he left on the field last week. I know he hot about it, but that Denver team obviously came out, played well.
Played really well.
New England played well on defense for the most part. Just gotta make plays. Gotta find a way to make them plays.
Mm-hmm. Make the plays that come to you, man, and you'll be in the league a long time.
Very long time. Colts off this week. They got that huge win going into the bye week last week.
Sure, let's talk about they talking about Darius Bryant might sign with the Ravens. How you think that'll help the Ravens offense? How you think would that help Lamar Jackson? Do you think it's not a big deal?
I don't think it's a big deal right now. I think it's I think for obviously the football fan, you've been following the game for the last decade. You're obviously well aware of who Darius Bryant is.
Yeah.
The threat that he once was in this game, but just from my personal opinion, I don't think he's that guy anymore.
Yeah.
Obviously I want him to go out there and ball. I want him to go out there and do his best. They're doing the same thing. They didn't sign him yet, but they worked him out. Right. If they were to sign him, they would sign him to the practice squad, and that's kind of been a common theme around the league. If you're signing veterans late in the process, bring them in, get them acclimated for a couple weeks, and then see if they can, if you can put them in or not. So that's like the same thing. I see him on my brother always talk about him on IG. He working out a lot, posting a lot of videos, which is good. It's smart.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get signed, you want to do that. He's been doing that. And like I said, hopefully go out there and ball. Me personally, I just don't think he's that difference maker anymore. I wouldn't say, you add him to the Ravens, that's going to bump them up over another team I may have right next to him or right over him.
Right.
But, he's a talented player, played a long time in this league. So he knows the game. He knows how to win certain leverages, certain routes. Always been a red zone threat.
Yep.
Always. So, he definitely can't hurt. He can't hurt being in that locker room. So I'm definitely wishing the best for what you think about that signing.
Same along the same lines. He could definitely bring something to that locker room, bring something to that receiving room. Like you said, play it at a high level when he was playing. I think you hit it on the head. I don't think that signing will catapult them over Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. You know what I mean? But as always, what's from the best? You go out there, ball. He's gonna make some plays. But again, I don't think it's going to catapult them to now the Ravens are a lock for the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Now, on the flip side, with AB, we talking about free agent receivers. If AB gets signed somewhere, that's kind of already on that. If it's a Green Bay or New England or Seattle, I feel like he's an immediate difference maker. Yeah, he's an immediate difference maker. Another guy that posts a lot of workout videos, kind of letting you know, showing you that he's still in shape, still putting that work in. I think he's still closer to his prime. Obviously not seeing him for a whole year, but his work ethic playing against him, I think, his age, I still think he's still got a lot of good football left in him. It's just from a personnel guy, I would be more concerned with the off the field. Like, is this,
Yeah.
where are you at with your personal life? Where are you at with everything mentally?
Yep.
You don't serve your time as far as suspension wise, but have you come out on the other side of that? Like, I hate to use the word humble, but humble. And now, because you go to success is much harder to deal with than failure. And obviously, he didn't do a good job of dealing with his success.
Yeah.
So now you kind of dealt with some failure now. So now he's kind of got to bounce back. And then once he does bounce back, say he go to Seattle, you have 4 weeks straight of back, balling. Now how you gonna be able to deal with him and manage him? So plan in place if you bring him in. But I definitely want to see AB get another shot and go out there and finish, the great career that he started.
Yeah, he'll definitely I feel as though he'll definitely get another shot. And like you said, what are you going to do with that shot? What you going to do with this next opportunity? You know what I'm saying? So hopefully he's his time off, he learned, got his situation right, like you said, as far as off the field, mentally, whatever the case may be, because we all know we've seen it on tape, man. Hell of an athlete, one of the best to do it. So hopefully he can get into a situation where, again, got some guys around him that can hold him accountable at all times. I think that Seattle culture will fit perfect for him. Having Russell, Pete Carroll, and having some good guys over there. So again, like I think he will definitely get an opportunity. Again, what he does with it is up to him. And it's gonna be exciting though.
Yeah, for sure. Root for him, man. So Lev Bell, he went to he was a free agent for a very short time.
My guy.
Damn Chiefs.
Cheat code over there.
Does that cement them in your opinion? Kind of is that they probably gonna be
nah.
They probably gonna be representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. That don't do it.
I would never say anything about cementing. That's why they call it any given Sunday. You still got to go out there. You still got to play ball. Too early. You know what I'm saying? Still got to play ball. Shoot, who know? It might. I mean, we all know he's a great player, going to a great offense with a great quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Great coach, but sometimes things don't work out. Not saying that it's not, but definitely want to see Le'Veon go out there and ball. I think everybody's excited to see what he'll be able to bring to that offense. Obviously, he's not going to get as many touches, I don't think, just because of the weapons that they do have.
So many weapons,
So many weapons. So he's not going to be able to have that many touches. Is Le'Veon the type that he needs a lot of touches to get going? Who knows? But
he's kind of like a field guy, though. He even his running style, like he kind of feels like as the game goes on. Yeah, as the game goes on, he kind of wears on the defense. So, being that he's going to be a switch-up guy. But like you said, so many weapons. Eric Bieniemy at the helm, calling the plays. And I think I love what Bieniemy did when he came out. And I don't know what question was asked, but just hearing him talk, I've kind of been circulating on Twitter. You see a lot of players liking it, retweeting, saying, hey, this is head coach material. Because as us, that's all we want is a coach to get up there, stand in front of the team, stand in front of media, whoever, and say, hey, this is what it is, and this is what it's going to be. It's not about individual guys and stats or this or that. We're about the team. You saw that from the first game of the season. Everybody expecting Mahomes to come out and throw for 400 yards a game. They came out, hand the ball off, running. Last game, Clyde Edwards had 150-something yards rushing. So he kind of feeds that hot hand. He goes to matchups. Does a great job of managing personalities, which they have a lot of personalities on their offense. So I think Lev Bell gonna fit in. And me personally, I think this kind of
cements him.
This kind of cements.
Yeah.
Some unforeseen injury or something. That's. I mean, they kept so many guys, man, and not only what they got on offense, defensively too. We've seen it. We saw that they got the ability to get hot.
Yeah,
they got a coordinator who's won multiple Super Bowls. I think 3 now. That's fact. He got 3 Super Bowls now as a coordinator.
I think so.
Damn. Yeah. So you got
two with the Giants.
Yeah. Now one with Kansas City. So you got the ability. You got the playmakers get hot on the defensive side of the ball as well. So it's just tough for me seeing a team seeing the team that's going to be, I think their biggest threat, honestly, will be the Patriots if that offense could get clicking. But that's just my opinion right now. The Patriots, because they paid the Patriots. They got, but you think about that game where they played. If Brian Hoyer cost a big time that game. Make it, if you got a quarterback that's controlling that clock, keeping Mahomes on the sideline more, making right decisions, like that can be, and that defense obviously gonna do what they're gonna do. So that would be the biggest threat, I think, to the Chiefs in the AFC. But that Lev Bell move, man.
I like it. Lev Bell, man. He's part of the decent McCoy family. So
Yep. So hopefully he's successful too, man.
For sure, man. I'm about to get a body. I gotta catch
that flight, bro. Safe travels,
man. Appreciate you, man. Y'all make sure y'all catch us Overreaction Monday. We'll be overreacting to Sunday's play, and it's another episode of the Man to Man Pod. Maybe Cole D. But again, sir. Man, y'all subscribe. Y'all give us the likes. Tell a friend, man. We out here, man. Got some good things coming up.
Out here.
We out.